Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I did not realize I still have the happy birthday. I apologize.
Good morning, Annex. Do you have Eric Lujan Navarrete?
Good morning, Your Honor. Yes, we do.
May I have him, please? Good morning, Ms. Butterworth.
Good morning, Your Honor.
They are getting your client now.
Sounds good. Thank you. I am at home with a little girl with strep throat, super sick.
Oh, gosh.
And I guess I hear it's going around. My doctor said he was not surprised at all. It's a fun time of year.
All right, there he is. Court calls the case of the state of Texas versus Eric Lujan Navarrete, 2023-0C07954. We're here for defendant's plea of guilty. What says the state?
Adam Chevrier for the state, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
And the defense.
Good morning, Your Honor. Denise Butterworth on behalf of Mr. Lujan, and we're ready to proceed.
All right. I forgot to plug these in. So let me get this going. There we go. You are Eric.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen, Mr. Lujan Navarrete?
Yes, Your Honor.
Charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated with a .15 below or above, alleged to have occurred July 27th, 2023 in El Paso County, Texas. To those charges, sir, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Any priors, Mr. Chevrier?
Yes, Judge, but as far as DWI priors, I do not see any DWI priors.
What was the blow or blood draw on this?
Yes, Judge. Give me just a quick moment, Judge. I apologize, Judge. I usually try to have it ready. I'm showing a 0.19, Judge.
Okay. That being the case, the court will follow the state's recommendation, find you guilty, Mr. Lujan, sentence you to 90 days in jail plus court costs with credit for time served on everything. Anything further, counsel?
Nothing from the state.
Judge, I'm appointed on this particular case, and since he's pleading to time, I'm also asking, I need to make sure that the judgment reflects that super fine is being waived since he's indigent. He's been in custody since July and hasn't worked in 2023.
All right. Then the court will grant your motion. Please submit the order.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. If there is nothing further, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Do you have Sylvia Buenrostro?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I think
Good morning, Mr. Parra. Ms. Buenrostro, we can barely see you. Can you adjust the camera there?
Oh, sorry, Your Honor.
Okay. Does she speak English?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, Judge.
Court calls the cases of the state of Texas versus Sylvia Buenrostro, cause numbers 2023-0C04997 and 2023-0C05110. What says the state
Adam Chevrier for the state, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
and the defense?
Honor Parra, Your Honor, from Ms. Benrostro, also ready.
You are Sylvia Buenrostro.
Yes.
Please raise your right hand. Solemnly swear affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Is that a yes, Ms. Buenrostro?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen, ma'am?
Yes.
Charged with the offense of assault on both these cases. Both are alleged to have occurred June 15, 2022 in El Paso County, Texas. To those charges, ma'am, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Court will follow the state's recommendation, find you guilty, sentence you to 100 days plus court costs, and you'll receive credit for time served on everything. 2 cases run concurrent with each other. Anything further, counsel?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nor the defense, Your Honor.
You may be excused then. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I have Alberto Lucero, please? Good morning, Mr. Olivas.
Morning, Judge. Morning, everybody.
Morning.
We're getting your client now.
Your Honor, Mr. Lucero, he's at the downtown jail.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll sit tight, Judge, so you switch over.
All right. And
Thanks.
they haven't logged on yet, so we'll see. Give them a
Oh,
few
okay.
minutes. Mr. Bombara, who do you have?
Good morning, Your Honor. I think we have a bond hearing for Victor Ramirez, and then I think we have a plea for Mr. Del Real.
Okay. Annex, do you have Mr. Del Real?
I'm not sure if he's at the annex. He got booked on Monday, Your Honor, and he was at the downtown facility as of Tuesday, or as of Monday.
They're checking on it, so let's see.
Downtown should be logging on, Judge.
Okay, thank you. If you don't have him, Annex, may I have Victor Ramirez?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor, what was the last defendant's last name so I can look him up to see if he's here at the annex or downtown?
It's Del Real.
Del Real. Okay, let me look him up.
All right, court calls the cases of the state of Texas versus Victor Ramirez, 2023-0C04821 and 2023-0C07927. What says the state?
I'm sorry, Judge. Which case did the court just call?
Victor Ramirez.
Adam Chevrier for the state, ready to proceed.
And the defense.
Gabriel Bombara for Mr. Ramirez, ready, Your Honor.
You are Victor Ramirez?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am. That's what I'm doing here.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Bombara.
Your Honor, Mr. Ramirez is a lifelong resident of El Paso, Texas, as far as I understand. He had been living at the OC. He does have severe mental health issues, Your Honor. I think there's a bipolar diagnosis. He does not have a lot of stability in the area. His sister does live here. I was able to contact his sister. But if he were to be let out, the place that he has to go is the OC.
Yes, ma'am. The homeless shelter.
The Opportunity Center, where he could fight his cases from outside, Your Honor. But I've looked, while his record does have a lot of arrests, I don't see any felony convictions, Your Honor. I see felony charges that were later determined to be misdemeanors. But we would ask that Mr. Ramirez be able to fight his case from the outside, Your Honor.
Okay, I was showing a 2017 robbery conviction. Was that not it?
No, ma'am, I've never robbed anybody before.
I'll have to check on that, Your Honor. It wasn't showing up on my form. Let me check.
Okay. What says the state?
Yes, Judge. I'm trying to look up that robbery charge. I don't see it locally, but I'm checking the rap sheet right now just to see if I can
I'm a
find.
very dangerous man on the street, man, and he was trying to bite my finger, and the cops.
Mr. Ramirez,
Hold
I don't
on,
think we need
Mr.
to go
Ramirez.
into it, okay?
I don't know why they arrested me for.
I am showing he was arrested for a robbery charge in 2017. It looks like it was reduced to a theft, and he did 190 days on that.
Okay.
Pretty unethical.
And then as far as the case itself, Judge, it looks like the allegations that he threw a rock, as far as I can see from the pictures, a relatively small rock. I think that's why his charges of misdemeanor assault.
Kept me out by the train, and they thought I threw a rock.
Mr. Ramirez,
Mr. Ramirez?
don't talk about the charges, okay? Because anything we say they're gonna use against us, okay?
Well, I defend myself, sir, so you can know the truth. I have a voice.
That's okay, Mr. Ramirez. We don't need to hear it right now. Mr.
Okay.
Chevy, do you have anything further?
No, Judge, just that if the court is willing to reduce bond or grant PR on some level, perhaps I don't know if he can be required to meet with EHN or what. But perhaps there could be some mental health conditions if the court goes that direction.
Yes, I see that he violated his PR bond by not showing up to a hearing and having no contact with them whatsoever. Have you tried to set him up through Takumi, Mr. Bombada?
We have not yet tried to do that, Your Honor, but that's something we would try to do.
Okay. I'm a little concerned that we will lose track of him if we reduce his bond today. So I'm going to ask your social work department to reach out to him, and we'll reset this matter for next week.
Thank you, Your Honor.
See if we can get him some help before we just put him back on the street.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
So, Mr. Ramirez, we're going to come back to court next week, and between then and now, you'll talk with one of our social workers. I'm not sure who it'll be yet. Probably Alex Ramirez, but I'm going to double check on that, okay?
All right. Then, Mr. Bombada, we will wait for the downtown jail to check in before we can do your other case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Alex, do you have Jorge Salinas?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
And Judge, on this one, I believe 88 King is going to step in.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, back.
Good morning, Mr. Serrano.
Morning, Judge.
Judge, I apologize for my background.
That's okay.
Happy birthday, Roa.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was there.
All right. Here we go. Court calls the case of the state of Texas versus Jorge Salinas, cause number 2023-0C08787. We're here for a pretrial. What says the state
Roa King for the state. State is ready.
and the defense?
Good morning, Your Honor. Victor Serrano on behalf of the defendant, Your Honor.
All right.
Your
Miss
Honor,
King-
I'm sorry, he doesn't know English. He needs a interpreter.
Oh, do we have an interpreter?
Mr. Serrano advised he didn't need an interpreter, Judge. I'll get a hold of one.
All right.
Well, Judge,
hold on.
if I may. Yes.
Yes, sir.
If I may, I think if maybe Ms. King will agree with me. This is probably a case that needs to be rescheduled since he's facing a vehicular manslaughter, intoxicated manslaughter. And that's where
We're
we're
not
at.
rescheduling it, Mr. Serrano. We're moving
Okay.
our case right along. So, Ms.
I
King, do
understand, Your
you
Honor.
have a recommendation on this matter?
No, Judge, I don't.
Uh,
And we have requested for, and I know the court is going to move this case independently from the intoxication manslaughter. We are still waiting on the drugs, but I do understand the courts on that. I will have a recommendation hopefully by the end of November.
Well, I
Thank you.
need you to have one for our next hearing, whenever that is.
Judge, I
Okay,
see
Judge.
that would be, I don't remember, but I will have one for the next hearing.
All right, then we are going
Yes,
to
Judge.
reschedule this matter for a pretrial in a couple of weeks, Rihanna, and I need the state to come up with a recommendation. We're moving this case along
Thank you, Judge.
regardless of the felony. Thank you.
I understand, Your Honor. Thank you.
Further, if you will interpret that for your client, Mr. Serrano, then you may be excused.
Mr. Salinas?
Sí,
Hello?
sí.
Mr. Salinas, vamos a tener audiencia para la siguiente audiencia, una recomendación en este caso, hasta la audiencia. Okay. Yo no sé qué es lo que está sucediendo.
Ok, gracias.
All right, if
Okay.
there's nothing
Thank you, Your Honor.
further, you all may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, Mr. Serrano. Okay, downtown is with us now. Annex, do you have anybody else?
No, Your Honor, he was the last defendant.
Thank you very much. You may be excused. Have a great weekend.
Same to you, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Who is this downtown?
Oh, Your Honor.
Good morning. Who is this? What is your name, sir?
Hi, ma'am. My name is Angel Guerrero.
All right. I don't have your lawyer yet. May I have Adrian Del Real?
Oh, yeah. My lawyer's gonna leave.
Yes, Your Honor. He's on a different floor. Let me go get him.
Thank you.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may approach on something that's now off docket.
Yes, sir.
With Monica Garcia, the hearing we had at 10:30, I believe we're gonna be able to resolve it with a plea.
Okay.
I don't know if the court still wants to have the hearing on regarding bond issues. I will say that the VPO, or I'm sorry, that the protective order that we were talking about, I think it's already lapsed.
Okay. But
Just
the bond order
Yes.
would require no offensive contact.
Yes.
If both CWs live out of state, where does your client live?
Florida.
Florida. Okay. We will have the bond order next week, bond modification order, because I'm guessing you'll need some time for the plea.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And that's why I asked that question before, and talking with her, it's like, okay, this is how much time you'd have to get the money to come over here. In advising her, my understanding would be that the court would be okay moving her probation to Florida.
If they accept it, yes.
Okay. And I think that they will accept it, but yeah.
Okay. So let's set that matter for a plea, Rihanna, sometime in December, as late as possible. And then we will have the bond modification Zoom hearing next week.
Okay.
Judge, Mr. Williams is in the 388th, but as soon as he gets done with that, he'll jump on our Zoom hearing.
Okay. We still have two others to do, so hopefully he'll jump on by then.
And Your Honor, as I prepare for court this afternoon, these PTD status hearings,
Just to see how they're coming along on PTD.
okay, so I should still be there then, right? Or,
Yes.
okay, cool.
And Judge, is there something specific the court would like me to look for on these PTD status hearings, or we just kind of wait and hear from the probation officer?
Correct. We'll wait to hear from the PTD department. The large majority are out of compliance so far, so we'll see what they need to do and try to get them back on track so they can finish up PTD.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Williams is now in the waiting room, of course, once we moved on to another floor.
Judge, while we wait for Mr. Alberto Lucero,
yes,
I got reason to believe that there may be another charge coming up. It's either going to be a VPO or an assault against another victim out of the same incident.
Well, I know he has that felony ag assault.
Oh,
Is
okay.
there a different one?
No. Do you have a cause number on that felony ag assault?
Yes, 2023 0D0 4683.
4683. Does it show a court yet?
I don't recall. Let me see if somebody can look that up real quick.
I'll have it here in just a moment, Judge. Let's see. I'm showing.
Do you represent him on that?
No, Judge. I was just reading over the complaint affidavit, and I see there's two victims, a brother and the common law wife. So I'm thinking.
I don't think that's the same case, though.
It occurred on
they
9/25.
They are related, Judge, in the sense that it's one of the victims from the ag assault is one of the victims on this VPO.
Okay.
I think okay.
But that was a
That being
previous
said-
incident?
I'm sorry?
Was that a previous incident?
According to the police report, to the complaint affidavit, he had two victims on the same day.
Right. Hold on a minute. Court calls the case of the state of Texas versus Adrian Del Real, cause number 2023-0C05626. What says the state?
Adam Chevrier for the state, ready to proceed.
And the defense.
Gabriel Bombara on behalf of Mr. Del Real, ready, Your Honor.
You are Adrian Del Real.
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand, sir. Right hand. Solemnly swear or affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen, Mr. Del Real?
Yes, ma'am.
Charged with the state has reduced this from a DWI 0.15 to a simple DWI. So you're charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, alleged to have occurred January 30th, 2022 in El Paso County, Texas. To those charges, Mr. Del Real, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Any priors, Mr. Chevrier?
I'm so sorry, Judge. I should have learned my lesson from the last DWI plea. Just a moment.
Or maybe from the last 6 months?
Fair. I guess I had in my defense, I had my portal system all pulled up for the bond hearing we have with Mr. Olivas here in just a minute. So I gotta switch my portal back.
All right.
But I should be able to answer that question here in just a moment, Judge. Judge, I am showing a DWI arrest from 2022. It does not appear that that case got filed, and but other than that, I'm not seeing any other criminal history.
Was that a separate one or the same incident?
That is a separate one, and for some reason it just has not been filed. I guess we're waiting on medical records, but it's, oh wait, I'm sorry. It is the same one. I'm sorry,
Same
Judge.
one.
They're not linked
Same one.
properly. My bad.
Okay. Court will follow the state's recommendation, find you guilty, Mr. Del Real, sentence you to 180 days in jail, probated for 15 months. You're to pay a $2,000 fine, 1,500 of that is probated, $30 a month supervision fee. You're to complete 40 hours of community service, be subject to breath and urine analysis, a 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew, attend the Victim Impact Panel DWI school, have the camera interlocked installed on any vehicle you drive. You're not permitted to drive anything that does not have that device installed, and reimburse El Paso County for court costs. Mr. Del Real, I know you were here previously on a PR bond violation for having positive blows on your interlock. Now, if you continue to drink on your interlock, the court is going to be watching you, and at that time, the court could revoke you to up to 180 days in jail. So if you need treatment, please request that from your supervision officer, and she will get you the treatment that you need. Anything further, counsel?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Your Honor, just part of this agreement is that the other case is getting dismissed. Let me pull up the cause number on that, in case state hasn't sent it over.
Yeah, the one ending in 4348.
Yes.
Yes, I can tender that to the court today, Judge.
All right, then. If there's nothing further, you may be excused. And downtown, if I may have Alberto Lucero, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor, and
Brianna?
thank you.
Sorry, go ahead.
So, I got a question. Are you gonna be released today?
Hopefully.
Mr. Del Real, as long as all the paperwork goes through, yes. If
Okay.
not, you can have Andrea give me a call and I'll try to make it happen tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. But yes,
If
that's
you
the
need
plan.
anything further, Mr. Bombara.
No, Your Honor. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. Brianna, what can you tell me on the ag assault?
Judge, so on that one, this is the case that was set last week that Mr. Josh Avila withdrew from, and we appointed Mr. Olivas. The public defender is still on the felony case.
Okay.
It doesn't
Yes.
have a hearing until January, and it still shows that Josh Avila would be the public defender. I do see a motion to withdraw in the felony in October was filed.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
Judge,
was
she's correct.
this ag assault the same day that our VPO was?
The ag assault date shows 8/9/2023.
That's a
And the
different date than what I
VPO?
showed.
Okay. So my guess is the ag assault occurred first, and then there was a protective order issued.
And then he came back for the second round, correct?
Right. Okay, so let's go ahead and go forward with the hearing. Court calls the case of Alberto Lucero, 2023-0C08784. What says the state
Adam Chevrier for the state, ready to proceed.
and the defense?
Good morning, Your Honor. Jesus Solias, Mr. Lucero, we're ready as well.
You are Alberto Lucero.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What do you have, Mr. Olivas?
Thank you. Judge, Mr. Lucero is, well, let me ask you, Mr. Lucero, how old are you, sir?
I'm 35 years old, sir.
Where were you born?
In Juarez,
Okay, and what's your address here in El Paso?
5105 Andes Drive.
Okay, that is the same address where the incident occurred, sir.
Yes, sir.
Do you have another address where you can be staying?
I don't know the address, but it's my aunt's house. Yes, sir.
What's her name?
Maria Trejo.
And you don't have an address for her. Do you have a telephone number for her?
I know exactly where she lives. She will let me stay there if I get out. I just don't have the address. I only have her on my messenger, on my Facebook Messenger. It's on my phone.
Okay, Lino Lucero, that's your brother.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what guarantees can you make this court you're gonna stay away from Mr. Lucero, your brother?
I mean, I have my 3 daughters to be out there for. The reason when I got arrested for this violation of protective order, it wasn't because I went over there to start a fight with them.
Okay, well, that's not what I asked you. I asked you what assurances can you give the court that you're gonna stay away from Mr. Lucero?
My word is all I have, so I can't. I mean, I'm not gonna lie here in the court. All I can say is that I am gonna stay away from my brother. I need to be out there for my daughters. My mom yesterday was having a pressure. Her blood pressure went over 212. She needs help out there.
All right, who is Juanita Wyndham?
My wife, she's got my daughter. She needs help out there too. She's got a learning disability. She's doing everything on her own.
Okay, there's also allegations that you had issues with her. What assurances can you give the court you're gonna stay away from her as well?
I don't have any protective orders from her. She came to visit me every weekend. She talks to me every day on the phone. She puts money on my books.
Okay.
She's my wife. She's my ride or die. She's the mother of my children.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't have the altercation that they said I had.
Don't talk about the altercation, sir.
Okay.
Judge, that's all I have.
All right, Mr. Chevrolet, do you have anything?
Yes, Judge, just that the state would be opposed to a reduction in bond on this matter, given that the bigger incident occurred back in August, and then this incident occurred late September, and so there's just too many incidents going on, Judge, and part of what's going on at this incident is the brother called the police because he heard his sister-in-law in distress, and he comes and sees his brother, the defendant, putting her in a headlock and harassing her, getting into a fight with her. And so the state is concerned for the safety of the community. And just by the way, Judge, on the felony cases, they are serious enough that I did look through the photos, there is some blood that had spilled during the altercation. There's some blood on the floor of the kitchen. These are serious cases that the state is prosecuting, and the state is concerned for community safety. And he was only out for 6 weeks, and he's already violating those bond conditions. In fact, the EPO just expired yesterday, Judge, and so the state would be requesting some element of PR to ensure that he has to stay away from, so that the EPO that just expired, there can still be conditions to stay away from the brother, Lino Lucero, and no offensive contact with Jay Wyndham, his wife. I don't know her full first name.
Juanita.
And so the state is in no way advocating for PR here, Judge, but the state would state that an element of PR would be in order to make sure that conditions are in place should he bond out down the road.
Can I speak, please?
Well,
No.
can somebody tell me a little bit about the ag assault?
Can I speak, ma'am, on my behalf?
I
No,
wouldn't
Mr.
do that if I
Lucero.
were you, Mr. Lucero.
Yes, Judge. Let me, if the court will give me just a moment, I'll pull up the ag assault case.
Brianna, do you have the case up now?
Yes, Judge.
Can you tell me what kind of bond he's on the ag assault?
Yes. It looks like both of them are 7,500 and 2,500 split.
PR? Okay.
Yes, 75 PR and then 25 surety.
What court is that in?
It is
23rd.
243rd. Okay. I'm just wondering why they haven't been revoked if he violated the bond, the protective order. Mr. Chevrolet, do you have the facts up yet?
Yes, Judge. I'm showing here that on the 9th day of August, officers were dispatched in reference to a domestic dispute. They arrive, they meet with the CW. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, I'm
How
sorry.
does the court? I'm sorry, Judge.
Go ahead.
Do you want me to proceed, Judge?
Yes.
The officers arrive, they meet on scene with the victim, stated that he and the defendant, Mr. Lucero, were arguing. Their mother, Mrs. Lucero, came between them to try to de-escalate the situation. CW stated he observed the defendant strike, basically pulls out a makeshift metal club and begins to strike the defendant, or excuse me, the victim on the head. The victim responds by lunging at the defendant, and they start wrestling on the ground. The defendant strikes him in the forehead, causing him to sustain a swollen large bruise, and had an open cut that was bloodied. Victim stated he felt pain from the strike. At some point, he was struck in the nose. He's separated by his mother, left outside the residence. And then there is a second victim. I'm trying to see, trying to get the facts on that. Let's see. Okay, and then and I apologize to the court, Judge. I don't have the full information, but I know that there is 2 counts on this felony, and so there is another victim listed.
Okay.
Given all these factors, the state would be opposed to a reduction in bond.
All right. The court is of the opinion that because Mr. Lucero was not out for very long before he returned, at this time, the court is going to deny the bond reduction. Mr. Olivas, we will
Thank you.
set this matter for pretrial within a few weeks.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you. You too. Downtown, may I have Mr. Carrejo now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Williams.
Morning, Judge. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
Hello.
There we are. Court calls the cases of the state of Texas versus Angel Carrejo, cause numbers 2023-0C0 7331 and 2023-0C0 8915. We're here for a bond reduction. What says the state
Adam Chevrier for the state, ready to proceed.
and the defense?
John Williams for the defendant. We're ready, Your Honor.
You are Angel Carrejo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. What do you have, Mr. Williams?
Judge, my client is 28. He's a U.S. citizen. He's currently unemployed, but he's a chef by training and only recently lost his job. He can go back and live with his brother, which is where he was living on Edgemere. Judge, we had a long talk. All of these offenses have been the complaining witness, and all of them is his former girlfriend, who's the mother of his 7-month-old baby. We had a discussion this morning about even when she calls, asking him to come over to see the baby, he can't do that. So I'm hoping to set him up with the Attorney General so that the Attorney General can enter orders for child support and child visitation, and the visitation can be somewhere else, so that there won't be any protective orders violated, and he won't have any contact with her. He understands now the very serious nature of these offenses. Because he's not currently working, Judge, he doesn't have the money to pay the bond, so we would ask for a reduction in the bonds, Judge. I think they're, at least one is 7,500, the
Correct.
7331.
All right. Mr. Chevrier, do you have anything?
Judge, I just wanted to take a quick second and double check my victim's notes. As far as criminal history, Judge, I don't see any assaultive type history, so that's good. I do have a victim's note here. If the court will give me just 10 seconds to read it real quick to see how pertinent it is. Okay, so Judge, I do have a note from October 10th. And by the way, Judge, it's the same victim on both these cases. They span over different time frames.
Correct.
And I have a note here from just October 30th. And the note says that we contacted the victim. She is afraid of him, Judge. And so she's fearful of him getting out. She says the defendant has been trying to contact her from the jail. And so at this time, Judge, given that we have 2 cases in a short time frame with the same victim, the victim is afraid for her safety. The state is concerned for community safety and would be opposed to reduction of bond, Judge.
Your Honor, I believe we also have new information that he was booked on a felony today out of the 384th, a criminal mischief, PR revocation.
Which is also the out of the harassment incident, I believe.
Yes, that's
I believe it is, Judge.
Yes.
It's kind of confusing, that case as well, because there was a capias, and then Judge Garcia, there's an order yesterday withdrawing the capias. So I'm not sure why he was just booked on that this morning, but I'll find out.
Okay. Mr. Carrejo,
Yes, ma'am.
you have no business contacting this woman. None
ma'am.
whatsoever.
I don't know if you can hear me.
I don't want you to say anything, Mr. Carrejo. I just want you to listen.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, it keeps cutting off. Sorry.
You were out on a PR bond, and then you pick up the new case, the assault, against the same complaining witness. I don't care that you have a child with her. You are to have no contact with her whatsoever.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not gonna call her, you're not gonna go by and see her, you're not gonna mail her a letter, you're not gonna send her a carrier pigeon,
Yes, ma'am.
and you're not gonna have anybody else do these things for you. I don't make it a habit of letting people out on PR bond repeatedly.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is your last opportunity to be out on the PR bond.
Yes, ma'am.
If we get a call from this lady telling us that you're anywhere near her, you're going to be back in jail, sitting where you're at right now. Understood?
I'm sorry, ma'am. It cut off. Can you please repeat that? The last part?
I said if she contacts the DA's office or the court and lets us know that you're anywhere near her, or
Okay.
that you are in any way messaging her, you're going to wind up back in jail.
Yes, ma'am. I understand that.
So on the first charge, the court is going to grant a 7,500 PR. On the second charge, I'm going to give him a split bond, 25-25, with the following conditions. No contact whatsoever until there are visitation orders in place regarding the child. You are to find employment, have a 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew where you can't be out unless you're working or going to school, report to PR bonds, no new offenses, and no illegal substances. A violation of those conditions will cause a warrant for your arrest to be issued, Mr. Carrejo. Anything further, counsel?
Nothing further, Judge.
Judge, if I may, the state just wants to put the defendant on notice that I am going to contact the victim in this case and let her know the new conditions from the court, and that if there are any violations, that she should give my office a call right away, and we will file the paperwork to revoke the bond.
Okay. You're on notice, Mr. Carrejo. The ball is in your court.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
And
Anything
Mr.
further?
Carrejo, if I can just briefly, Judge, Mr. Carrejo, it's going to take a little bit. You still have the felony bond and another one that I've got to take care of. So you're not going to get out today, but hopefully we get it done next week.
I didn't hear you cut off. Can you repeat that, sir?
Okay. You're not going to get out today because we still have to take care of the felony bond and the jail magistrate bond. Okay. So, but I'll come talk to you next week or this weekend. I think we're having trouble with contact, Judge. I will go see him at the jail.
Okay.
Can we be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you,
The
downtown.
internet cut off.
Everybody
sorry?
else may be excused as well.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.